All right, good Monday evening, everyone. We have significant severe weather to talk about for tonight, and then more significant severe with possibly strong tornadoes possible going into Tuesday. And then we have a raging blizzard that's going to happen with 65 to 70 mile per hour winds, with snow falling. Going to be whiteout conditions. We got wind advisories basically from the Rockies all the way to the southeast. This is a massive system. This is going to get down to around 979 millibars, which is basically a Cat 1 hurricane. And it's going to bring the winds with it, with up to hurricane force winds with it, especially on the backside of this low pressure and some of those blizzard areas, blizzard condition areas. We'll go over all the latest here in just a second. But first, please click that like button. Basically tells Facebook that you want to see more of our content. Click that like button, comment where you're from, tell me what weather you're seeing around your area as well. Share this with your friends and family. We got to get the word out there too. Significant severe weather tonight. Tonight, like overnight severe weather is very deadly. We have to get the word out there. You need to have multiple ways to get warnings, especially if you're out here towards Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, into Texas for tonight. And then everything's going to go move east as we go through Tuesday into Tuesday night as well. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It's basically like following a page over on Facebook. So hit that subscribe button, hit all notifications, and hit that like button over there as well. We really would appreciate it. All right, let's get right into the latest hazards across the United States, and then we'll get into the severe weather aspect of it, go through future radar, go through some possible snow amounts possibly on the backside of the system as well. How far south will some of this snow come? Be kind of surprising. Some of these areas that are getting severe weather tomorrow may end up with some flurries or snow showers on the backside of this low. Just crazy weather ongoing for this week. Alrighty, so this is what's going on across the United States. It's been a while since I've seen widespread wind advisories or high wind warnings over a very vast area across the United States. Basically, these high wind warnings, basically these like these brown mustardy colors here from Texas all the way up towards almost all of Kansas into Nebraska, basically the front range of Colorado, um, up here towards Iowa as well. There's high wind warning. So we're talking 60 to possibly 70 mile per hour gusts at times, especially in the backside of this low pressure system. You get east into these kind of brownish colors. It's basically a wind advisory up to 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts. And this is going all the way over towards Georgia, even. There's even a high wind watch up here for the parts of the higher terrain up here into the North Carolina mountains here as well. Now, we do have a new tornado watch that was just issued um, by the Storm Prediction Center through most of Oklahoma, basically the western half of Oklahoma into parts of northern parts of Texas here. And then as you get up towards parts of Colorado, basically just east of Denver International Airport, blizzard warnings in effect with, like I said, 65 to 70 mile per hour winds. This is going to be a nasty, nasty scenario for I-70, I-80 even up into Nebraska over towards Iowa as well. We have blizzard warnings all the way up towards northeastern or northwestern parts of Missouri even. And then winter storm watches up for Iowa all the way up towards Wisconsin because they're expecting blizzard-like conditions as well. So that may be updated or upgraded here probably early tomorrow morning to blizzard warnings as well. So major blizzard up that way. Snow's going to wrap in behind it and possibly get down into some of these areas that are getting severe weather as well over the next 36 hours or so. Now down south here towards Louisiana, they're expecting upwards of 60 mile per hour gusts as well. These are non-thunderstorm wind gusts, by the way. So this is how powerful this storm system is. So this is a high wind warning down here into parts of Louisiana as well. Like I said, upwards of 60 mile per hour gusts down that way. All right, let's go over the severe weather. This is for tonight. This is the severe weather for tonight is just now starting to get going. Storms are now exploding over western parts of Oklahoma. You saw the tornado watch that was just issued a little bit ago for parts of Oklahoma and Texas. But there is an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms from central Oklahoma southward into northern Texas. Thunderstorms are forecast to develop, which they already are, across western Oklahoma into the southern and central plains this evening, continue to increase overnight. This is not going to die down overnight. This is going to pick up. So tornadoes, damaging wind gusts of in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and large hail is all possible across here. So the enhanced risk areas covers about 3.2 million people. Oklahoma City to Norman, Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, Denton, down to Louisville, Texas, northwest side of Fort Worth as well, Ardmore, Oklahoma as well. So slight risk, 8 million people under the gun for the slight risk for tonight into early tomorrow morning. Talking about Dallas, Fort Worth, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Arlington, Texas, Wichita, just a few places there. Marginal risk, Kansas City to Omaha, Nebraska, Overland Park, Kansas, Kansas City, and Topeka as well. Now, let's take a look at, here's a tornado outlook as well for tonight. So anywhere in these yellow areas here, that's a 10 to 14% likelihood of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. The brown areas, 5 to 9% probability of seeing a tornado within 25 miles at any given point, and the green is 2 to 4%. So this tornado risk really ramped up this afternoon as the Storm Prediction Center got a little bit more confident in where these parameters were going to take place for an increased tornado activity for tonight. So this is you've got to have a way to get warnings as we go throughout overnight hours. Make sure those phones are getting charged. Make sure your volume's up, because you got to get. Don't rely on outdoor warning sirens. You've got to have something to get you up and get you to your tornado shelter if tornado warnings come out tonight. So it's going to be a very dangerous overnight scenario coming through parts of Oklahoma into northern Texas. So we got to stress that very much out that way. All right, now as we go into tomorrow, there's an enhanced risk has expanded for severe thunderstorms for parts of southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, southern Arkansas, central and northern Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama, and the western Florida Panhandle is under the gun tomorrow. Severe thunderstorms with a threat of tornadoes. Some strong tornadoes is possible tomorrow in excess of EF2 or greater, damaging wind gusts of 60, 70 plus miles per hour, maybe even higher than that, even hurricane force winds and some of these higher in these stronger storms. Isolated hail is also possible on Tuesday as well. So let's go over basically where all this is at. So the enhanced risk goes from Baton Rouge to Shreveport, Mobile, up to Jackson, Mississippi, Tyler, Texas, and upwards to just on the fringe of Little Rock as well. Slight risk, Dallas to Memphis, Fort Worth, New Orleans to Tulsa, all the way up to basically the Missouri-Arkansas state line up here northwest Arkansas, talking Fayetteville, Bentonville, up here towards Fort Smith, Conway, up to Jonesboro, like I said, Memphis as well, Birmingham, Montgomery, Huntsville, and down here towards the Florida Panhandle as well. Talk about the marginal risk. We talked about Nashville to Kansas City, Atlanta, St. Louis, up towards Knoxville, Tennessee as well. Now, let's take a look at the tornado risk, because this is going to be a significant risk for tomorrow. As you know, anytime you get in this hatched area here, there's possibility of a strong tornado, a couple strong tornadoes tomorrow. So Baton Rouge to Shreveport, Monroe, towards Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi. This is where the hatched areas are for significant tornadoes could be possible in excess of E2 or greater up this way. So 10% hatched area, uh, basically tornadoes, a possibility of a strong tornado within 25 miles at any given point, especially in these black hatched areas. Um, if you're outside the black hatched area, you're still in 10%. Just the likelihood of a significant tornadoes go down just a little bit, but you can't let your guard down as well. Talking about over towards parts of northeastern Texas, southern Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, as well as under the gun. You up to the brown here, 5 to 9% chance, basically from Dallas to New Orleans, Arlington, Plano, up towards Birmingham, Alabama, as well. The 2% goes all the way up into central Missouri, even towards Kansas City for tomorrow. So Memphis, Fort Worth, like I said, Kansas City, Atlanta, Tulsa, all 2%, 2 to 4% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles at any given point across that area. Now, this is not the only um, significant risk for tomorrow. We're talking about significant winds as well, probably in excess of hurricane force winds, straight line winds, possible some of these storms across this area. So Jackson, Mississippi to Monroe, Louisiana, Hattiesburg, Alexandria, Meridian, Mississippi, as well as a few towns here. So anywhere in these black hatched areas, probably in excess of hurricane force winds is possible, 75 mile per hour or greater, or greater, 75 miles or greater um, on those straight line winds across southern Arkansas into parts of northeastern parts of Louisiana, in through parts of Mississippi. So very dangerous, dangerous day. Just off the surface, I'm telling you, the 850 millibar winds are approaching, over 100 miles per hour, and just off the surface. So if any of these storms can tap into that, this is going to be very dangerous, very, very dangerous day, as a lot of the wind could come down to the surface. So, like I said, 75 plus miles per hour winds could be a little conservative. So, like I said, you have to have a way to get warnings, plus know what to do. What basically, if you get in one of these dangerous thunderstorm wind gusts, you need a shelter like you're going to be in a tornado with these dangerous winds coming through this area. Alrighty, we are not done. All right, we go to Wednesday. We have severe weather possible all the way towards the mid Atlantic, down towards the southeastern coast. Here we're talking about Savannah, Columbia, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Cape Hatteras up towards Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, under a slight risk for Wednesday. And as of right now, it looks like all modes are going to be possible this day as well. All right, let's get into some of these wind gusts are going to be out of control with these non-thunderstorm wind gusts. That is because this storm system is very powerful. Like I said, it's going to be sub 980 millibars. It's going to be basically a hurricane strength here. So it's going to bring a lot of wind with it. And you saw all those wind advisories, high wind warnings, and stuff like that. So let's go over some model data on where a lot of these winds, or how much these winds are going to pick up 50, 60 mile per hour winds in some of these areas. All right, here's some of those wind gusts possible later tonight ahead of that front across parts of Oklahoma and Kansas here, 40, 50 mile per hour. This is non-thunderstorm wind gusts. All right, so same here in parts of northern Texas. Kind of calm across Nebraska, but this low is really going to start ramping up as we go into early tomorrow morning. Look at some of these wind gusts, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts across parts of Colorado into northeastern Oklahoma or northeastern New Mexico. And just going to get worse. Some of these 60 to 70, look at this, 70 mile per hour wind gusts. This is the HRRR, by the way, 00Z. So some of these wind gusts tomorrow could approach hurricane force. These are non-thunderstorm wind gusts. This is on the backside of this low pressure. And that's why there's going to be blizzard conditions, basically whiteout conditions across parts of Colorado into parts of Kansas and Nebraska. All right, so we go forward here. We've got 60 to 65 mile per hour winds diving down in Texas. I'll go south here in just a second, but just want to show you how bad some of these winds could get, even into parts of eastern Kansas, heading into Kansas City area. Some of these wind gusts could approach 60 miles per hour. So there's going to be some power outage issues, going to be some tree damage. There's going to be some just travel nightmares because on the backside of this low, there's going to be snow as well. And then this is going to track east, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, getting into the Ozarks even as we get into early Wednesday morning, and then it kind of dies out from there. But I'm going to go back all the way here and then go south and show you that. All right, here you are in Texas. As we go throughout the night, see where that front is, that basically dry line coming through. Some of these gusts could be approaching 40 to 45 miles per hour. A non-thunderstorm wind gust going into Dallas later this evening. And then this rockets out of here. This is tomorrow, 40 to 50 to possibly 60 mile per hour gusts across parts of Louisiana into Arkansas. 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts across the Delta regions in Arkansas up towards Little Rock, even 45, maybe upper 40s to around 50. Wind gusts across the Ozarks as well. And then on the backside of this low, we're talking getting up to 50 mile per hour gusts, possibly heading into Dallas, most of the northern parts of Texas, 40 to this widespread 40 to 60 mile per hour gusts through most of Oklahoma, northern Texas as well. And this kind of heads out. You can see here some big time 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts here through most of Oklahoma, through northern Arkansas, southwest Missouri, and even down here towards parts of Louisiana. And then that basically gets out of here. Now, let me show you the southeast really quick. All right, here is basically the Ohio Valley down towards the southeast. As you can see, as we go through tomorrow, here comes basically the wind machine as we get towards a late morning to tomorrow afternoon. Widespread 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts through most of the Mississippi River Valley up towards Ohio Valley, even spreading into parts of Tennessee. And some of these storms are already showing some significant on the HRRR, that is, some significant wind gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour on these storms possibly coming through parts of Mississippi and Arkansas. So that's something that you got to stay up on. All right. So here's those widespread 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts through Alabama, through Tennessee, Kentucky. Like I said, you need to prepare for some power outages with this amount of wind energy coming through most of the South and Central United States. Then on the backside of this low pressure is basically tracking through Missouri, going towards Illinois. Look at this up here towards Kansas City, 62 to almost 70 mile per hour gusts up here in parts of northwestern Missouri, parts of Kansas, even. So just and it's going to be snowing up there as well. So it's going to be basically almost whiteout conditions at times, and even down here towards northern Arkansas. Wow, this is 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Some of these higher peaks up here in northern Arkansas is approaching 70 mile per hour gusts on the HRRR. We'll see how that plays out. But my goodness, that is, like I said, you need to prepare for some power outages across parts of this area. Okay, so this all spreads east, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts through most of the South into the Ohio Valley. And then, wow, just unbelievable wind energy with this system. All right, let's take a look at the HRRR here. You can see big line of storms developing across parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. Basically going to go over timing here. So here's 11, 12 o'clock tonight. Towards 1 o'clock hours, really starting to pick up and getting towards Oklahoma City area, Wichita. And then this is 3 a.m., widespread storms, parts of northern Texas, like I said, through Oklahoma City, getting into Tulsa. Even here's 5 o'clock hour, Your 6 o'clock getting into Dallas as well. Morning rush hour is going to be a mess. And then here comes big line of storms basically going to be marching through Arkansas. And some of these storms that get out ahead of this could have some tornado potential as we go through early or about midday, getting towards midday tomorrow afternoon. Said you get some of these broken lines of storms or broken cells out by themselves, so you're going to have some tornado potential as well. So rolling through the Memphis area, heading towards Nashville as we get towards 5 o'clock comes the next line of storms. Come through Memphis, getting through Nashville, possibly by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And here comes that wraparound across parts of northern Arkansas into parts of Kansas City here. But these storms march on as we get towards Wednesday morning. This is through the Atlanta area and then getting towards basically a skinny line of possible storms here with some winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, some of these stronger storms heading towards the basically Atlantic coast here of the southeast through Georgia, South Carolina into Virginia throughout the day. Let's take a look at the snowy side of the storm really quick. Alrighty, as we go towards 11 o'clock hour, rain changing to heavy snow around the Denver, Colorado Springs area. I-25 could be a mess. I-70 west of Denver could be a mess as well. And then basically this rain transitions to very heavy wind-driven snows. Even down here towards Amarillo could get some snow down that way. And then this low really ramps up as we head towards late tomorrow in through tomorrow night. So you can see this snow is really wrapping in by midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. Snow getting into northwest Arkansas, parts of Springfield, Missouri, southwestern Missouri as well, western or eastern Kansas, Kansas City, edging into Des Moines. Soon, I'm telling you, as soon as this backlash snow, especially if you get some of those heavier bands with 50 to 60, 70 mile per hour winds, the backside of this low is going to be almost whiteout conditions across parts of this area, especially Iowa, parts of Kansas here, northwestern Missouri, and even down here towards Springfield. You're going to have 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. You can have blizzard-like conditions at times, I think, especially if you get some of these heavier bands that rotate through. And this is having rain changing to snow in northeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, southern Missouri. As we get towards the 3 o'clock hour, here's the 4 o'clock hour, rain change to snow in central Arkansas now, and then heading towards Iowa. And we can even get a few flakes of snow into St. Louis, and then transitioning east towards Chicago as we head towards 6 p.m. on Wednesday. All right. So, and then backlash snows could be possible if it gets cold enough across parts of Tennessee here. Maybe a little bit higher terrain here. As you get towards the valley locations like Knoxville and stuff, you're probably not going to get nothing. Just rain, of course. You get on up towards the plateau here. That's where the rain could mix or change to a little bit of snow down here into Tennessee and Kentucky as well. And even up here towards Indiana, a few flakes of snow here and there, maybe even towards Nashville, maybe some rain mixed with snow as we head towards late Wednesday evening. All right. Now, let's take a look at possible snow amounts across the area. All right, I'm going to show you a couple different models here. This is the HRRR. So let's take a look at this really quick. This is a 48-hour model, 00Z. But you can see, I'm telling you, if some of these bands come true here across southwest Missouri, we could talk about advisory level snows across parts of southwestern Missouri into possibly northern Arkansas as well, with upwards of a dusting to an inch even, especially across the higher terrain in northwest Arkansas, maybe a dusting over towards Mountain Home even. And then as you get towards Springfield, This is throwing out 2 to 3 to 4 inch amounts across that higher plateau area of Springfield area, and then backlash snows could be a nice band of 6 to 9 inches here across parts of Kansas. But this wind is going to be dangerous. It doesn't matter how much snow there is. This stuff's going to be drifting, blowing around crazy up that way. And even up towards Iowa could be some snow up that way as well. General 2 to 5 up that way with just nonstop blizzard conditions up this way as well. But this is brand new model data showing. This is a little bit surprising. Um, Throwing out 4 inch amounts across southwestern Missouri. Let's go. Let's go take a look at the dam real quick. See what it looks like. All right, here's the latest 00Z NAM. Let's take a look at what it's thinking. And general, I mean, this is showing 1.5 inches around Springfield, dusting to maybe 1/2 inch across northwest Arkansas, even a dusting maybe around St. Louis. And then a big band of possibly 3 to 6 up this way as well. So it all depends on banding, and of course, it's going to be hard to measure because of the amount of wind that's coming with it, 40 to 60 plus mile per hour winds. Good luck measuring this stuff if it comes down, but could create some rough driving conditions, especially down here towards northwest Arkansas, southern Missouri, maybe temporarily down here with a little bit more banding. If there's a little bit more banding that comes in, and those heavier winds could reduce visibility in a hurry, and then create some possibly some spotty driving issues down that way temporarily. But as you get up to here towards northern Missouri into Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, parts of eastern Colorado, they're basically telling you just to stay off the roads up that way because of these blizzard-like conditions. Some of these major roads could be closed as we get into late tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at a few more other models, see what other consistency there is. But the NAM 00Z is the most bullish on some of these snow amounts, especially for south. All right, here's a look at one more short range model. This is the WRAP. So let's take a look at this one. See how much snow this is throwing out. Wow, it's pretty bullish across southwestern Missouri. This got a 6 inch amount just southwest of Kansas, or southwest of Springfield. That's probably a little bit overdone, but I think a dusting to maybe 1 inch, maybe locally 2 across southwestern Missouri, and some of these bands, like I said, the wind is going to be ridiculous. So good luck trying to measure any of this stuff. So, but a dusting to maybe up to 2 inches, maybe a little bit higher amounts of those bands as you go throughout western or eastern Kansas into Missouri, and as you get towards parts of Nebraska into Iowa, I think the snowfall really starts picking up that way. Like I said, whiteout conditions possible. Major interstates 70, 80, I-49, basically from Kansas City to Joplin's going to be impacted with some of these snows and very heavy winds. These very heavy northwest winds coming through. All right. So basically, that's all. I mean, it's kind of an extended live, but we had a lot of stuff to go over. This is a multifaceted, pretty much just multi-hazard, low pressure system. Blizzard, got a basically gonna have a raging blizzard go on with this. We have widespread winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour, basically from the Rockies all the way to the southeast. Just wide range of impacts. And then we have significant severe weather, tornadoes, um, dangerous straight line winds in excess of 75 miles per hour is possible. There could be widespread. If the winds come to fruition, there could be a lot of power outages, especially up here in some of these blizzard areas that get 60, 70 mile per hour gust consistently as well. So, doesn't take much for, a limb or a branch to come down over a power line and just knock out power. So with some of these, even with the 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, that could be possible across a lot of the southern plains, central plains, even towards the southeast with some of those gusts. You get some weaker limbs that fall into those power lines. You're going to have a power outage. So need to stay weather aware, especially tonight across Oklahoma, Texas, with some of these severe weather that comes through, and then east tomorrow, basically across the Arklatex, through northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, through Mississippi as well, with some of those tornadoes that come could be strong tomorrow in excess of EF2 or greater. All right. Please stay safe out there. Like I said, have a way to get warnings. Keep your devices charged, because this is not only we have a blizzard to deal with, we've got severe weather to deal with. We have non-thunderstorm wind gusts because of this very strengthening, bombed out low pressure system that's basically hurricane strength. Low pressure system bringing a ton of wind energy with this. So could be some power outages just from that as well. So stay safe out there. Please have a way to get warnings. Thank you so much for watching.